Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. And today I've got a short little video for you. I'm going to install the starter motor. It's a quick little video. I just want to do some little steps. I'm dressing basically the engine. I'm putting on everything. And as I've said, I'm documenting everything. And that includes little things like this. But I thought right now would also, since we have some time, it would be nice to remind you about my playlist. Every single video ends up in a playlist, or sometimes in multiple playlists. For example, the 560 SL transmission and driven plates. If we go to that playlist, it includes everything relating to the transmission that I've done on this job. So everything has a playlist. Even this one, for example, this one here's installing the starter motor. Well, I also did a video on bench testing the starter motor. So that is going to be a playlist, the starter motor. So these playlists are really to make it easier for you to find what you're looking for. Okay, I think I've talked enough, so let's get this video going. This here's my starter motor and solenoid right here. So when I went to turn this, the whole shaft wanted to move. It's really hard to get this on here when this nut's on here. You'll see that you can't get it. You can see it won't fit. Unless I grind this down. I could grind this down maybe and make it fit. But now that I have it out, I went ahead and made sure this is nice and tight. Let's look at the other parts that are needed here. So number 38, you can see we have one of those. So we have one nut, we have two spring washers, number 35, and two bolts, number 29. So these are the bolts and the spring washer. This one that's closest to the solenoid will go in like this because this has its own thread right onto the body here. The other one obviously has its own nut. So that's the nuts and bolts. You'll need a 10 millimeter for that, 10 millimeter hex. Also note this little pin. That little pin is a locating pin, and that goes right here. You see that little hole right there? That's where that locating pin goes. So let's go ahead and bring this over. So here's that little tab. And like I say, it'll go on here like this. Just, if you can see past me, line it up on that pin like that. Make sure she's fitting flat. So the threads are in the body on the top one here. Then you have your nut, and then my nut has writing on one side, no writing on the other, and the way that it was with the writing towards the outside. This is a 19 millimeter. You can't put on a box end or a socket because it won't fit. So you have to use an open end. And then we'll go on the other side, snug it up. You'll see the paint popping off of here. I'm not a fan of paint, you guys. Snug this one now. All right, now it's time to torque it up. So the torque settings are 55 Newton meters. That's what I've got this set at. That'll fit. No problem. That's the best I can do right there. 54.6. I could go more, but I'm going to go down here first. There we go, 55.2. Come back up to this one. Get it right even there. There we go, 55. You see all the flaky paint? I sure wish I would have told them not to paint this. All right, so there we go. I've got it all in there. It's all torqued down. Now let's look at these electrical connections here. So this is on the passenger side. So when I took this engine out, I decided to just disconnect that harness from the engine rather than disconnecting it from the firewall. Here's your end pieces. Now, this one closest to us here, that big nut, or that big one, will go right there. That's that, and then you see that other thing there that's a Phillips. That's where that other wire goes. Right? So there's no way you could really mess that up. And then that other part of the wiring harness, that's what goes to your alternator, you know, and your sensors for your oil level, etc., etc. Just a few of those sensors on that other side. This is the little boot that covers that big one right there. So again, that's your big nut, that's 13 millimeter, and then your little screw right here. That's just a Phillips. At least it is on mine. You know, I'm moving forward, you know, little at a time. I still got some more things to go to dress this engine here. All right, you guys, I want to thank you for supporting me. You know, we're going to be starting this engine. You know, we're going to try to start it, that's for sure. And we're getting closer every single day. So if you're not a member or a subscriber, you know, click on that subscribe button and also click the bell, you know, because I'm going to do this live. You know, that's the plan at least, is to start this vehicle live on YouTube. Hence the name TonyLiveTV. All right, you guys, thanks again for watching.